It wasn't new to anybody who reads books. The law of attraction is in books from the 1800s. I have rare copies of books from the 1900s. It's in there. But it wasn't on something people can watch on their computer or watch on their television.
My guest today is Dr. Joe Vitale, the spiritual teacher and author known for your appearance in the hit movie The Secret. You've written 70 books that include the bestsellers The Attraction Factor and Zero Limits, which dives into the Hawaiian practice for wealth, health, and peace. You know, I want to talk about your books. I want to talk about, you know, some of these Hawaiian ideas, because I think they're really interesting. Maybe even some of your music and some of your strongman stuff too.
A lot of things to cover.
A lot of things. But, you know, maybe we should start off with that movie from 12 years ago. And a lot of people know that the movie The Secret. I remember watching it. I thought it was kind of pre-internet, but I guess it wasn't. But it was the time when you couldn't necessarily watch it on YouTube, and yet it still kind of went viral in a way. And a lot of people watched it, a lot of people got behind it. And I was wondering, looking back 12 years, what you think what that phenomenon was at that point. Was it the first time the world had kind of got exposed to a lot of the ideas? And you know, what do you make of it? And what was your part in it?
Good Lord, that's a lot of questions.
I know, right?
About something that is a historic milestone in movie making.
Yeah, maybe describe the movie first, because some people might not know it.
Oh, if you haven't seen the movie, if somebody hasn't seen the movie, please go watch. It's everywhere. It's on Netflix, it's on Amazon, you can buy it, it's in hotel rooms. Boy, the movie came out in 2006. Most of it was filmed in 2005, and I was one of the lucky ones to be filmed for it, and I was invited because I wrote a book called The Attractor Factor about the law of attraction. The director, who lived in Australia, found me, called me, and said, hey, I want to make a movie about the law of attraction and I'd like you to be in it. And I just thought she was a flake. I didn't think she was going to actually do anything. And I said, sure, if you get the money and you pull it together, give me a call. She did. And she made history. I think the reason that the thing took off so well is there's 2 or 3 reasons that I've been able to think about over the last 12 years. One is it was the first public, media-friendly introduction to what it could be called mind power. It was about the law of attraction, which is about whatever you focus on is what you're going to pull into your life. So the movie was introducing this idea to the masses. It wasn't new to anybody who reads books. The law of attraction is in books from the 1800s. I have rare copies of books from the 1900s. It's in there. But it wasn't on something people can watch on their computer or watch on their television. Go watch The Secret. If somebody hasn't seen it, go watch it, thesecret.tv.
Right. And what was that underlying message that people walked away with after watching The Secret?
That you can have, do, or be anything you want if you controlled your mind. It was about the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is basically saying whatever you focus on with energy and repetition is what you're going to tend to bring into your life. And so the movie was an introduction to that idea. And I'm specifically using the word introduction because so many people over the years criticized the movie. And they said the movie just promoted wishful thinking, magical thinking. It just said, hey, if you sit in a chair and visualize a bike or a car, a doorbell's got to ring, and there's your bike or your car.
Right, that was the criticism of the movie.
That was the criticism.
All you had to do was think of something and not move or do any action, and it would just appear.
And I would criticize the movie for that as well. I am a massive take action guy. I've written 76 books. You don't get those kind of things written by sitting and imagining a book written. You have to actually get in front of the computer, get on the keyboard and start writing. I'm a musician. I have 15 albums done at this point, recorded and being sold. You don't get that much material done just by sitting and wishing for it. So I tell people the movie is an introduction to an idea. It's a frickin' movie. It's not the be-all and end-all to self-help. It doesn't tell you everything you need to know. And I also tell the people who are criticizing the movie, who say it doesn't talk about taking action, I'm in the movie saying you have to take action. People blur over that part. You know, they kind of let it block out of their mind. But I defend the movie, whether I was in it or not. I would still say, go watch that movie. It's an inspiring movie. It gives you a clue how to use your mind to go in the direction of what you would prefer to get more of the results that you would like to have.
Right, so that idea itself was presented in a powerful way, a pretty revolutionary idea for anybody who wasn't reading these books, which is most of the world. But if anything, it probably didn't emphasize the action enough because it couldn't. It was a movie about this one thing.
That's exactly right.
And so that's what critics later said, oh, you can't just think of it and it'll happen. But it did change people's thoughts when it came to law of attraction and kind of mindset.
Oh, it gave I want to say millions, but I actually don't know the figures. The movie is still selling like crazy. being viewed like crazy around the world. I've gone to countries I didn't even know existed where they saw the movie The Secret and they want one of the secret teachers to come in and talk about these principles. I've always said Rhonda, the director of the movie, should have done a volume 2. She actually had enough footage from everybody she filmed for the first one that she didn't have to film anybody else. She just had to edit it. And I was on Larry King the second time and I announced that there's going to be part 2 because Rhonda let me believe that there was going to be one. And that would have been more about action. But I think action is the missing step. Again, I still promote, protect the movie because I think it's fantastic.
Okay. What can people know right now or learn from you right now about this concept of this law of attraction, as far as what you think about and what you really concentrate ends up what you bring into your life? I mean, what are some basic elements of that? Because I've heard you talk about this in detail, but I still think most people don't know how to actually practice it.
Yeah. The very first step is you have to become aware of your current thinking. Most people don't realize that their thoughts are in the toilet, that they're listening and to themselves say negative things about 70,000 times a day.
70,000.
70,000. There are some research studies that are showing it's higher than that. And the other thing that's more startling is that they're mostly repetition. They're the same thoughts. There are things like, I'm not good enough, it's not going to work out, this stuff works for other people, works for Joe Vitale, but it doesn't work for me, works for the people in The Secret, but it doesn't work for me. They want to do things, but they think the economy's wrong, the president's wrong, the timing is wrong, I don't have enough education, I don't have enough experience. All of these kinds of negative thoughts keep people shut down. They don't go for their dreams. They react to life. They kind of crawl through life with no enthusiasm, no sort of energy, and no belief in themselves or the possibilities of something better. What the law of attraction is teaching people is that you have a choice. You can change your thinking.